like if somebody wants to really like cut somebody totally out of the will, can I do that? Can I write that out? And does she have to know about that? Because this is big. This is now we're getting into money. People get emotional.
Okay. So New York State, and to my knowledge, most of the states in the union, you cannot completely disinherit your spouse.
Oh.
There's what's called a right of election. So if you were to attempt to disinherit your spouse or reduce her distribution in any way, she can exercise her right of election.
What's the minimum due to your spouse? Like, what's the minimum?
If your wife doesn't like your testamentary plan, she can exercise her right of election.
But how does she has to be able to see it?
Of course.
Or okay. Okay.
She has a right to 1/3 of your estate.
Okay.
So that's the minimum she would receive
Irrefutable.
in any conflict.
Okay.
No way around that.
Write this
Unless
down.
she were to
That
not
is definitely
you.
That's definitely a question on the bar exam. Right? You remember that question?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So a third.
Correct.
Third, and the rest she can elect to negotiate if she didn't like it.
No, she's getting a third minimum if she.
Right, but if she doesn't like it, she can go
Correct.
after more. So what do you call that? You contest the estate?
She's exercising her right of election.
Okay.
No matter what the will would say.
Well, I think his question is are there circumstances under which she would be entitled to more than that elective share? Could she argue that despite whatever the statute is telling me I can get, could she go for 40? Could she go for 50? No, right? She's limited to
And we're talking about 1/3 of everything.
of your entire estate.
Everything.
Everything that everybody knows about.
Not only probate assets, but non-probate assets.
What's a non-probate asset?
A non-probate asset would include a house owned as husband and wife.
Okay.
Non-probate assets are life insurance.
What if you have money in the bank, right? You have cash in the bank.
Well, that would be a probate asset if it's titled in your name alone.
Okay.
Oftentimes people do Totten trusts. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. Basically, your bank account would have beneficiaries.
Like
So upon-
ITFs. I call it ITFs. In my
ITFs.
business. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And I interest for it. And then
So
you have
those
the
would be
name of it.
non-probate assets.
Okay. So what if all the assets were in the business, and those numbers go up and down all the time?
Right.
Right. So how do you quantify that? What right does she have to that?
You'll have to determine a date of death value for the business.
Date of death value. Okay.
Right? So you get your accountant involved, and the business has a value on the date of death. And if she exercises her right of election, she's entitled to 1/3 of the date of death value of the business interest.
So I can go left or right, right? You could be in the hole, and now she inherited a negative.
Right.
Can
Right?
I- Can I add
yes, sir.
another
A caveat?
Yeah, not a caveat.
That's why he's the caveat guy.
So, would you agree that a smart business person, right, who owns a business, and let's say he owns it with partners and so on, or maybe even just in his own capacity, well, although it may not come up in his own capacity. Let me just keep it. So let's say, but wouldn't a smart business person have come to an agreement with his partners or other shareholders where they purchase cross insurance against one another so that in the event of the death of one of the partners, there'd be an insurance policy that could be taken out to purchase that person's interest, right?
Absolutely.
And that would avoid the partners having to deal with the estate in terms of the management of the future business. Would that not be a good strategy to employ under those circumstances?
That's a great strategy because your partners don't want to deal with an estranged
Your headaches.
Your headaches.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Your wife. So that's
Yeah.
Is
that's
that
a
common
great
practice?
strategy.
People do that?
It is absolutely
Right. Smart business people and people that actually, go to an attorney, to address these kind of things up front, because this could happen, any day. Could happen the day after you incorporate. You know what I mean? Somebody could be get into an accident. So they engage in that kind of planning, and that's where, somebody like him could be very, helpful in helping to structure that, or a business attorney.
Yeah, you don't want the issues of one partner to drag down the entire business.
Correct.
So
Especially if the
that's a
business
great point.
is lucrative
Correct. Correct.
or moving.
Yeah.
Right.